Alrighty. We are back. We are back. Oh man, the boys are back in town. This is Prime Time Hoops. I am Casanova here with Con Man, the Oracle. How you feeling today, man?
Hey, Ken, it's great to be here with you, man, talking some NBA hoops. And damn, we got a lot to talk about today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I mean, great game. Well, it wasn't a great game six. It was a great game six if you're a Spurs fan. If you're a Spurs fan, it was an amazing game six for you. You enjoyed every bit of it. If you're not a Spurs fan, should you be worried? Or was this a team that knew they had a game seven in their pocket and did they just rest and relax? That's what I'm wondering. What you think, comment?
Well, you know what? I think they have every right to be worried. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna explain why. This is why I think. You know what? They've been going ebb and flow with the alien. He came off a bad game for him, and you knew they're gonna again, as we talked many times about making adjustments. They made the proper adjustments. Now we're gonna see what OKC's got up their sleeve. And the fact is, when you have your best player shooting the worst he's ever shot in a playoff game in regular season. I mean, he was minus 28 on the court and plus 10 when he was off the court.
yeah.
That leaves y'all better worry about something. And I think that, the big guy is going to come back to play. And then you got them dogs, man, Vassell and Castle. I mean, and Fox really hasn't come out to play either. So
Yeah,
I think, and you know what? They beat them pretty handily in the regular season. So I don't think they're going to be all that worried about that lack of experience. I think that's out the door right now, for real. I'm going to keep it. I think it's out the door. So to answer your question, OKC has a lot to worry about. And the man's under a lot of pressure, SGA, because he hasn't been himself, because they're playing Dion everywhere he goes. He's getting double teamed. And we know about the flop situation. I mean, he's got a lot on his shoulders, and I don't know if he's going to be up to the task.
man. Hey, listen, you said a mouthful right there. Listen, I think the SGA thing is more important than people are not leading on to. Because of the fact J Dub is hurt, because of the fact AJ Mitchell is not there, them ball handlers. See, what people don't realize about Shea needs the other ball handlers to get him off the ball. He's doing so much. His usage rate is way too high. McCain is coming in. McCain is helping, but like McCain can't substitute them other guys what they do in the ball handling department. I think Shea getting off the ball is a very important thing, and the fact that he can't, it's not boding well for them at all. It's not. It's really showing the limitations of OKC without these guys. I think they are very important pieces of their championship team. I mean, J Dub alone, just him being the way he is right now alone, is a bad sign because he played 10 minutes and shot the ball one time. I'm like, okay, he got cardio. Good. Okay, we just trying to get cardio for him? Because this is game seven. No time for cardio. Either put up. I mean, this is not a time for us to be wondering, hey, is he healthy or not? I always was about the mindset of J Dub didn't need to play. He didn't need to play because he can literally rip it off the bone at this point. I mean, it's the same hamstring injury he had before, if I'm not mistaken. And so if you telling me he keeps injuring the same thing, the next part is off the bone. And then now you have a deeper issue. And so what you don't want to do if you're OKC, if you have to question whether he's healthy, do not put him out there. He's not helping. It was straight cardio. And Chet, you got to show up. Harvenstein, you got to show up. All these guys must show up in this game seven for them to have a shot. But what I need the Spurs, if on the flip side of that, what I need the Spurs to do is guess what? When you get Wimby the ball early in the games, y'all win those games.
That's right.
In the same way every time y'all won. Every time y'all won a game, y'all won it the same way. All it was get Wimby the ball early, and he'll carry you the rest of the way. Don't get off of that.
And you know something too, Kenny, man, I'm going to keep it a buck. You said Chet Holmgren. Chet who? Who is that?
Yeah,
Because
who
I
is?
don't know who's out there. I don't know who that is. That ain't the Chet that we know.
No, it's
All
not.
the time, averaging less than half to what he was averaging in the regular season. What is he doing? He's not doing. He's not aggressive offensively. You figure when J. W was out, he was going to carry the load, help out SGA a little bit.
No,
I'm sorry, Chet who? That's his name, Chet who.
Chet who? Because at the end of the day, to me, you and Wimby, it seemed like it was supposed to be a rivalry there, and I don't see no rivalry. I see
Ain't nothing there.
a
Ain't nothing there.
in a dude that act like he's scared of him. He
Yeah,
plays. He's scared of her. I'm just like, hey man, are you gonna play or what are we doing? What are we doing with you? Because at the end of the day, Chet Holmgren has to be the number two. He has to. He has to be. I mean, Shay's like, hey, who else out here?
right, exactly.
We're gonna let them just dominate because Castle and them two dudes on Shay is
Oh,
that's the in the series right there.
man. Ooh.
Let me say that. That's the key. When the refs allow them to play basketball, that's when they're their most effective. They can
Absolutely.
attack,
Yeah.
attack. And we're gonna add the Mac Man to the chat. Welcome to
Mhm.
What's
Town.
going on, brothers? What's going
Oh,
on? Blessings, blessings. Glad
yes,
to see
yes,
you.
yes,
Glad to see
yes,
you,
yes,
Casanova. The
yes.
con man. We are in
That's
the house. We
right.
ready to do this.
That's
And
right. Yeah, we're just talking a little
I agree with
OKC.
everything you guys have just said.
Yeah,
The only thing that I would add to the whole spice of it all is the fact that it seems to be a desire across the leagues and the fans where people kind of want OKC to lose in
yes,
some regards. And
yes,
True.
this still goes back to what me and Kenny talked about earlier in terms of
yeah,
why was it that SGA was not embraced by it would seem like the NBA. Instead, it's more Wimby that is embraced by the NBA, and that is within the league itself, the business side, but also the fan side of it, where it's almost kind of like people want this Spurs Knicks matchup a lot more than they want a
yeah,
Thunder Nick matchup. It's almost
yeah,
like people have gotten Thunder fatigue without even the Thunder even being allowed to stretch their legs. And the reality is that the Thunder are down a very significant component on their team, and
yes,
even though De'Aaron Fox is got a sprained ankle, he's still out there. He's still gutting through it. He's still trying to make somewhat of an impact. But that Williams boy, he shouldn't be on the floor. He
yeah.
shouldn't
No,
be on the floor. He's not. He can't. Playoff basketball is different from regular season basketball. Your body has got to be at a certain level, and his body is just not there. Maybe it could be there for game 7. Um,
mm,
but it's no surprise that this has gone 7 games because
no,
of that. Now, if Williams was back and he was healthy, I don't think the Spurs. I don't even think this would be an issue. I think the Spurs would be handled. But I'm not on that train of
mm,
SGA, not wanting to give him his flowers of disliking the Thunder team. I think it's a brilliant team. I think that every team in the league needs to look at the Oklahoma City Thunder and say this is how you continue to build and rebuild. And they've been like this since they
yeah,
left the Seattle. Now I don't know what Seattle was doing or why the Sonics had to leave, but it wasn't like the Seattle Supersonics were a bad franchise. So
No,
people
not at all.
forget that. I
yeah,
mean, they had slipped because they were rebuilding after Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. But they had got Kevin Durant. The rebuild was starting. It was a success. If they would have stayed in Seattle, that would have continued. The rebuild was working. And then we saw it get capped off in Oklahoma City, where they would have Durant, Harden, Russell Westbrook,
Serge.
Who else did they get? Serge Ibaka,
Yeah.
Sam Adams was a
Yeah.
part of that team. I mean, so they drafted
Yeah.
and developed the guys, and then that didn't work. But they did get to a final. They did get to conference finals. Okay, fine. Your best player decides to blow it up on you and leave you, which you were not expected. Kevin Durant bails on you, and look at this. Kevin Durant bailed on him, won a couple championships, but since then, since he's left Golden State, he has just been a hired gun to waste your seasons. Whereas the Thunder retooled, used all that draft capital, used all that money that they got back, that money that they didn't have to pay. See, everybody forgets about Kevin Durant. He left OKC, but OKC didn't have to pay him all that money either.
Yeah.
So now you had all that money sitting on your books that you could allocate to around. Russell Westbrook, it didn't work out. You tried to give it a chance, it didn't work out, so he left. That's more money back on your books, you know. And then the Paul George situation. You talk about setting a team up. You talk about setting a team up for dominance. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard did that.
Yep.
They did that.
Yep.
And so you gave a team that already had a ton of money and already had draft capital, and you gave them even more, along with the guy that ends up turning into a superstar. Not
That's
just a
the key
star,
right there.
not just a star, a
Yep.
superstar.
Yep. That's the key right there. That is the key.
It's hard for me to root against an organization that did all of that, along with draft Chet Holmgren, along with made a move for Hartenstein, brought in Alex Caruso. They drafted both the Williams boys.
Man, that's crazy.
What's to be upset with them? What's to be what people don't seem to like is someone winning the way they want them to win. But I just like winning, period. And I'm gonna tell you what, and I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'll let you guys debate it from there. Is that everyone wants to disrespect Shea for some reason and not recognize he's the face of the NBA, but Shea to me is the closest thing that you have gotten to Kobe Bryant since Kobe Bryant, and people need to pay attention to that. Shea, you don't compare Shea to Michael Jordan. Forget about that's dumb. Don't compare Shea to LeBron James. He's not built like that's not a good. But compare Shea to Kobe Bryant, and in terms of that closer, that guy that can finish, that guy that's gonna get buckets. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets buckets just like Kobe did.
Yeah.
And so I mean, you might be looking at a guy on that level, and how can we not appreciate that? And yeah, his game is not as exciting as Kobe because he don't play for the Lakers. But if SGA played for the Lakers, we'd be talking about him like Kobe.
Accolades wise, I agree. Accolades wise. If we're talking straight accolades, I think the games.
I'm talking about just straight game. I'm talking about getting buckets.
I'm talking
about getting buckets.
I think we're the only thing. Let me say this about Shea. Shea is a great player in this NBA. He is great for this particular NBA for sure. I think Shea has enhanced what James Harden was doing with the foul baiting thing. I think he has enhanced that. The only thing that I would say about Shea is I think the reason why a lot of people are not jumping on that bandwagon. One, Shea don't talk enough. He don't talk enough junk enough. He doesn't have that budding personality. On top of his game, it's not aesthetically pleasing at all. If you watch him play, it's not aesthetically pleasing. It's a bunch of I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground over here. I'm on the ground over there. Ref, I'm looking at you. You gonna call it? I can't compare that to Kobe, who I watch. It's two guys on me. I don't care. I'm going up over you. I'm behind the basket. I'm over this way. I'm doing that. The games to me, their games are so different in that perspective. But if we're talking strictly just accolades based and just getting it done from a getting it done perspective, I agree with you from that perspective because Shea, at the end of the day, he does get it done. Regardless of how you think about it, he does get it done. Now, I think the thing with Shea that is going to be very important for Game 7, you cannot have a dud because it seems like when people label people the next Kobe, they they disappear after that. I don't want that to happen. I watched it happen with Devin Booker. They were screaming Devin Booker was the next Kobe Bryant for years. They kept screaming. I said, y'all, let this kid win. Let him get
Yeah,
to a
but
where
Kenny, there's a big difference in that. Devin Booker hadn't won.
he
Devin
hadn't won
Booker,
that. Shea
he
won
hadn't
something.
won no MVPs. He
I,
hadn't won a championship. Shay's won
I get
championships now. He's won. He's
I
won
get it.
multiple MVPs.
I get it.
Different,
I
different.
get it. No, I get it. I'm saying what I don't want is all of a sudden now Shea don't never get nothing else again. Because that hate come with. See, what people don't realize is people love Kobe and they love him all that, but the hate came with that. There's a lot of hate that came with that name. That's why he got one MVP. There is no way you telling me Steve Nash is a multiple time MVP in this league and Kobe Bryant got one. You're not. There's no way. What NBA world do we live in that Steve Nash got multiple back to back MVPs and Kobe averaged 35 on it? Come on, man. We revisionist history, but I'm just saying. Con
Uh,
man, let's spit some knowledge for me.
well, I kind of disagree with Marcus, but let me fast forward a little bit. Oklahoma City has set themselves up for they got 13 first round picks in the near future. So they
Yeah,
got things to work with. They got a future, whether they want to trade them picks, they can use them picks as trade bait, whatever. They're gonna be good for years to come. You know what I think? Why a lot of people do not like Oklahoma City is because of that word D. And what I mean by D, dynasty. They don't like the last team to have a dynasty was the Warriors. And I think a lot of people don't want the way that Oklahoma City plays to be a dynasty. I think
yeah,
that has a
Yes.
major part in the fact that why a lot of fans or whatever do not like Oklahoma City as maybe as they should, because that's
Yes.
the future of the NBA. Now, as far as Shea and Kobe, here's my because I'm old as dirt, you know what I'm saying, and I'm from the old school. I don't like the comparison at all. What I'm saying, let Shea make his own lane. Why gotta be Kobe? Let him make his own lane? Because when you can make comparisons, then you get problems. Let him do his own thing and make his own lane. Because when you compare Jordan, you know what? No one's going to win. Let him go do his thing and set his own standard and set his own lane. Other than that, I agree with everything y'all saying.
Yeah, I say that the comparison to Kobe is there because he should have that on him. It gives him more notoriety. It gives people paying attention to him more because the reality is that you don't win back to back MVPs, scoring 30 plus a game, and in a era where guys, let's be honest, don't play. Shea plays. We may not like the way he plays, but he plays. He's there in the regular
Yeah,
season.
yeah, I feel
He's
you.
there in the playoffs. He
yeah,
plays and he gets buckets. And what was the one thing that Kobe Bryant did?
Buck-
Kobe got buckets, but it wasn't empty calories. See,
nah,
remember if you do all this in 1 through 3, that's great, man. But the fourth quarter, you know where to be found. That's why you will never be a legend. You gotta be able to get it done in the last quarter. And Shea Gildress Alexander
yes,
gets
sir.
it done in the last quarter. In the fourth quarter, you can find him. He ain't sitting around. You ain't going, where's Shea at in the fourth quarter? Shea right there, your face in the fourth quarter. And that is the Kobe Bryant mentality. That is not the LeBron James mentality. Look to defer. Like I said, he's not a shooter like Steve Kerr, so he doesn't have that shooter mentality. He's a big body guard that gets buckets. That's what Kobe Bryant was. Kobe Bryant was a big body guard that got you buckets in the closing moments. Like everybody got to remember, the thing that hurt Kobe's career more than anything, because even it sucks because he played with Shaq, played one of the greatest centers of all time. Shaq is top 5 easily of all time. And if Michael Jordan had played with Hakeem Olajuwon, it would have took away some of Michael Jordan's shine. Believe it or not, as much as people might not want to admit that, if Michael Jordan had played with one of the top 5 centers of all time, it would have changed the narrative of how people would have saw his game.
Correct.
And we saw who Kobe really was when Shaq left, and that was a guy that could get you buckets and get you buckets in the toughest moments. And he was able to elevate and lead those Laker teams minus Shaq to go get more rings because he could get you them buckets in the tough moments. And the reason, like I say, the only reason I don't think their games are the same. I just think that in terms of how they could get you what you need in the critical moment from a big body guard, that's why I compare to Kobe, and I want people to recognize that more because this dude has won back-to-back MVPs, averaging 30 points a game. It's time for us to start really talking about this kid because see, the problem could be Con Man and Kenny. This dude Wemby is coming. Yes, he is. He's exciting, man. Big, tall, 7'4" kid that's out here doing special things. Okay, I'm interested in him. You all are interested in him. But before we sit here and completely lose sight of a guy that's dominating the league currently, right now, dominating the league with accolades, he's dominating the league in points, he's dominating the league in wins.
Yeah.
We just gonna forget that. Yeah, he carving his own lane, but I want him. That's the reason why you attach players to great players, because that elevates them, that propels them. If we would have never compared LeBron James to great players, then now how could we sit and be having any type of GOAT conversations if we didn't compare him to Michael Jordan, if we didn't put him on standards compared to Kobe Bryant? And you know what? He was able to live up to them. Now, was he able to shatter through and break through to become the greatest ever? In my opinion, no, but he still fought through and lived up to a lot of it to put himself in comparison to either the top 3 all time, top 2 all time, whatever, guys want to go from there. And I just think, to me, that's okay. It's okay to do that if that player has earned it. It's not okay. And this was what Michael Jordan's issue was with LeBron when he first came into the league. He's like, how are y'all comparing me to him? How are y'all comparing him to me when he hasn't done anything yet? And that was the issue. He had, like you said, with Devin Booker. Devin Booker getting compared to Kobe Bryant was insane. He hadn't done anything yet. This dude, Shea, has won a championship. He's won back-to-back MVP, scoring 30 points a game. It's okay. It's okay to do that for him because he actually deserves it. He deserves to be looked at, and we start to look at him in that light. His team won 64 games. They lost 18, and you know what? Shea was there playing the majority of those games. It wasn't like the Thunder won minus Shea. So that's my only thing with that. Like I said, the games, of course, Kobe was the next next coming of Michael Jordan. Shea's not that. But in terms of a big bodyguard that can get you buckets, I think he's that.
Yeah. I agree.
No argument on that one, man. I agree. I definitely think the thing with Shea, man, that I always enjoy as right now is that he hears the noise. He hears everybody talking, and I'm still
acts like he doesn't, but he does.
He doesn't. But we all know he hears it, because you know what he does to the crowd after he make a bucket, and when he on the road, he talks to him. I don't need that. He said it. Matter of fact, he said it in a game 3 in Phoenix. In round 1, they were talking. The crowd was talking, you flopper, and he just started dropping buckets. He had like 41 on like 18 shots. He had like 41. I was like, he said, I don't need it. He said, I don't need the fouls. I don't need it. I was like, that could be the face of the league. I wish he would be more like that. See, but see, you got to think his personality is a lot like Tim Duncan's. His personality is very boring. His personality is very low key. His personality. But what did Kevin Garnett say? That the person he hated the most when came to trash talking. He said the person he hated the most to trash talk with was Tim Duncan, because Tim Duncan would say just the smallest little thing. Oh, nice try. Good job.
You know what I mean? You screw up and then he tap you on the butt. Good job. As he run it back. That's the worst thing in the world. Do you understand it? And then on the other end, he just giving it to you. On the other end, he just giving it to you. And then you go and you blow it and he come back to you and say, oh man, yeah, nice try. You know, and then he just keeps on jogging out of the court. That's Shea. That's who Shea is. And you know what? People didn't embrace Tim Duncan and they thought he was boring and they didn't appreciate his dominance. And now we look back and now we can say he probably was one of the best power forwards of all time. But during that time, was he really recognized like that?
No, not at all.
No. Not like he should have been. Not for the stuff that he did. He should have been.
Thank you.
Not his career ended. Then he got the praise.
Yeah, that's what it was. His career ended, and then we start looking at. Hold on, wait. Like his accolades: 5 championships, 2 MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year.
And not only that, it was who did he beat?
That's why
he beat Shaq and Kobe. He beat Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta remind yourself, like, who did he beat?
Yeah. The 4-peat, because the 4-peat was gonna happen. I said if the Lakers got through the Spurs, they was beating whoever was in the East again, because it was gonna be New Jersey again. They was gonna curb stomp New Jersey again. It was gonna be a 4-peat, and Tim Duncan, before that series, he said, "I'm not losing to them no more. I'm done." And he went crazy. He proceeded to tell Shaq and Kobe, "Hold my beer real quick. Watch this." And he went crazy. I remember that series. Watching that as a young Laker fan, I was mad. I hated Tim Duncan. Let me say that.
That's some real talk. That's some real talk. And that's some real talk.
So many more championships. Shaq and Kobe probably would have won 5 before they broke up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They broke up if it wasn't for Tim Duncan and them damn Spurs.
Man, look, he's standing there in the doorway, this big boring dude. And you know what though? But think about it, he was a nightmare. Not only he was a nightmare for Kevin Garnett, he was a nightmare for Kevin Garnett in Minnesota. Because if Tim Duncan isn't there, and Kevin Garnett is giving it to everybody in the West at that power forward position. But when he would go up against Tim would be like, "Yeah, I got you. Everything you do, I do. Everything you do, I do." And that would just drive him nuts. Oh, you go drop a bucket? Oh, okay, I go drop a bucket. You block a shot? Oh, I go block a shot. You know, and that's what I'm telling you. This is with Shea, man. It's a shame because we're gonna look back on his career and we're gonna look at everything he did, and then we're gonna be like, dang, this guy was really, really good, but he just was really boring.
That's exactly what it is.
That's a big difference.
The book is not done yet. The book is not completed yet.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
The book.
Yeah.
The book is, he's in the middle of it.
He's in the
middle of it.
Book, man.
And you know what though? I love the fact though. Here's the thing I love about his book is that now he has an adversary. The Spurs are gonna be there, boy. Let me tell you something right now. The Spurs are gonna be there for some time to come. Okay, San Antonio is going to be there, and that's gonna be a real problem. The Lakers. Don't think for one second that the Lakers are done. Luka, when he gets healthy, when he gets right, they have put themselves in a position to be a team that you're gonna have to deal with. And even though I know Denver went out real bogus,
I think they blowing it up.
I think Joker stays no matter what. It's what they do around him. It's what they do around him. You know what I'm saying? It's what they're gonna do around him that's gonna be key. And if they do the things right around him, that team is gonna be right back there knocking at your door because Joker's that good of a player. He makes players around him that much better.
I just think they're gonna blow that up in Denver. I do. I have a feeling that Joker.
You have to, but it's not Joker. It's not Joker. It's not Joker. It's Aaron Gordon can't stay healthy. It's Jamal Murray don't know how to show up big anymore. Maybe he didn't lost the step from all those injuries. And those were the 2 key guys that was helping Joker get it done, and they're not anymore. And that's a reality check, and that's something that Denver's gonna really have to figure out. But I'll tell you what though, with this game coming up tomorrow, real talk, all bias aside, guys. Who do you want to see against the Knicks?
Spurs.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Comment.
1,000% San Antonio.
You know, see, I'm gonna tell you what. I love just watching Victor play. So the Victor bias of me is real. But I'll tell you what. I don't feel like the Thunder got really tested last year when they won in those finals. You know what I'm saying? Halliburton goes down with the injury. Jason Tatum was injured.
Yeah,
In the playoffs as well. So they got a bunch of just hampered, limped up teams, and then here Indiana comes limping into the series against them, and they got a championship. They got a championship without. It was like, oh, here you go, man. You guys got here, and we're gonna hand you a championship. I would love to see because let me tell you something. They're gonna have to earn it against the Knicks. They're gonna have to earn that against the Knicks if they want to go back to back. That's gonna be an earn, I really want to see that. I really want to see. Okay, Shay, how good are you? Because now you about to get the best on the best. The Knicks, you best believe, gonna be giving they everything to win that chip, and that's the only reason why I'm leaning towards the Thunder. But I'm like you guys, man. I just love seeing the Spurs play. They got such an exciting team. Victor Wembanyama is box office. He really is, and to see him in the finals, that would be it would be special. But I want the Thunder to get a real challenge before I can know if this is a real dynasty or not, if this is a real championship team or not. They need a real challenge first, and I think that the New York Knicks will give them that in the finals.
Yeah.
You know what I think? The NBA is in a good position right now because you got OKC very young. You got San Antonio very young. I think the NBA is in a good spot. But at the beginning of the year, we all talked about how deep the West was. I don't think it's that deep anymore. Besides those two teams, Lakers had the issue. Denver, they're losing everybody. Minnesota,
I don't know.
Minnesota's a dumpster fire. Minnesota is a dumpster fire right now.
I was looking for Orlando on a milk box. Where he been? Where he at? So you know what I mean. Now he going through some stuff because.
And I'm gonna tell you what we found out. What we found out with Houston, they have a massive problem because Kevin Durant has gotten OLD, and it happens to everyone. It happens to everyone, but KD cannot carry a team anymore. We saw what happened there, and when the playoffs came, KD was already done, and that's because of age, not because of talent.
I agree. So the West is going to get tough, but I mean the NBA is going to be great to watch for the next couple of years, man. It's going to be.
And we still got some exciting superstars to come. I'm really pumped to see what these dudes can deliver out this draft this year. I honestly think that 3 to 4, maybe even 5 of these kids are going to become superstars. This draft reminds me of that 85 draft. Everybody loves to talk about Hakeem and Michael Jordan, but if you look at the rest of that draft, you had John Stockton, I believe Charles Barkley came out in that draft. You had Hall of Famers, man. You had like 5-6 Hall of Famers come out of that draft. And this could be that type of draft, just like the draft what they also had LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, the 3 Hall of Famers right there.
You remember
this draft could be like that.
Yeah, y'all remember Kobe's draft? It had Kobe, AI, Steve Nash, all them guys were
Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers.
So be nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you got AJ the best. I ain't gonna lie, that kid, man. Hey, wherever he goes, that's a superstar. That's, to me, that might be the guarantee to me out of this whole draft. I think he's the one that I have no worries about at the next level with him. Like AJ DeBenson to me is like, oh yeah, I don't care where he go. That's 30. That's
gonna do it.
Bucket. That's 30 in the bucket.
I think it's where he goes. I think what's going to be important where he goes. If you get picked by some bum team, it's going to defer his growth.
I don't like the idea of him going to Washington, but I also Washington also needs
Still
like
though.
this. If you talk about a franchise that needs
Yeah,
a shot in the arm, a jump start, it's that franchise.
They
But at
got
the same
yeah.
time, I just can't. I don't. Man,
I'm
maybe he could turn it. Maybe he could change the narrative. Maybe
I'm
he could change the narrative because right now I don't like it.
having Trey Young and Davis to start out your career is not a bad start. I think people are thinking about Washington in the whole. You got to realize a lot of their guys didn't even play in the second half of the year. They still got
Yeah.
Trey Young and they got Anthony. Now Anthony, when he's there, he's still Anthony Davis. But what I'm saying is AJ DeBesta being added to that, and you know Trey is going to look for him. You know Trey going to look for him. And
the good thing is because right. Good thing is he's not going to have that much pressure on him because he got AD and he got the ice bag, ice pack, whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
He's
it.
going to, not too much pressure is going to be placed on him, so he can grow and he can learn from AD.
Yeah.
He can learn from ice pack. I mean, I think it's going to be beneficial. I think that it could be good for him to not be the man like Cooper
Like
Flag had to be before.
Like
You know what I mean?
the guy in Utah. I'm not sure if I want him in Utah.
No, Utah got exactly what they needed. Utah got the second pick.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be interesting to see what they do because Utah is the one. Utah is gonna be a linchpin because if Utah decides to get cute, then that opens the door. Because to me, the real no brainer, in my opinion, for Utah is to draft that kid out of Florida. But they might not.
Which one are you talking about?
What's the No, not in Florida. I'm sorry,
Oh, you
Kansas.
talking about
The
Kansas.
Peterson kid, Kansas. Yeah, I think that's a no brainer there in a lot of ways. But because of all of the issues that he had during the season, I wouldn't be surprised if Utah decided to get cute and go with like a Caleb Williams.
Hey, I got something for you right now. You heard today what the first pick might be? There's scumbag words going around. Boozer.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that.
You know what though? With Washington, I don't think Washington would be off they game if they did. I mean, Boozer is really that good of a player, man. I mean, I watched him. I even watched him in that championship game. And I'm gonna tell you what. Cam Boozer won them that game. It was the young boys. And his brother that lost the game. But if you really go back and watch that game, Cam Boozer won it. He came through for them when they needed a big bucket. And whenever a player could do that when I see a player able to deliver a big bucket in the moment when he's the go-to guy, when it's expected, and he comes through, that tells me that translates very well to the next level in the NBA.
I agree with you.
Believe it or not, a lot of guys cannot do that. Believe it or not, in the NBA, a lot of guys cannot get you a big bucket in that closing seconds of a game. That's what makes the Knicks so special with Jalen Brunson. Because at the end of the day, all the rest of the team has got to do is get him there. Just get him there. And if you get him to that finish line, woo.
The thing with my man is that he plays on the floor. And what I mean by that, you get the bouncer very athletic. You look at numbnuts from Memphis. All right, he relies on his athleticism. Look what happened to him. You know, a lot of these guys that rely on their athleticism, Boozer can be around 10, 12 years because he's not relying on his athleticism. He's relying on his mind and his focus and his intellect. And I think that's going to carry him a lot further than someone who has to always depend on your athleticism because that
I agree 100%.
I agree. Skill-based, like I said, skill-based players always, to me, works out better in the NBA than an athletic player.
Always.
Skill-based. It has nothing to do with, it's all, like you said, it's on the floor. It has nothing to do with aerial. Like, like I said, with the band, what I like about the Banster is he on the floor too. He ain't he can be on the floor. That's why he's such a crazy. He can score from everywhere. He can score from the parking lot.
Kenny, you bring up a great point though about about a guy that's being able to play on the floor. And now, if he has that skill set, and then he's athletic as well, now that's when you're talking about a special player. Then you're describing a Kevin Garnett. That's what made KG so special. Is that KD was very smart, very cerebral. He could read the game. He knew how to make the right plays at the right moment, but he was athletic as hell, also fast, could jump out the gym, but he knew how to be at the right place when where he needed to be on defense and on offense. And those guys, like you said, they always translate excellent to the NBA. There was no question about it that Kevin Garnett was going to be a star in the NBA, even though he had never played college ball, because you knew that he had that on the floor skill set, but also was combined with athleticism. Now, if Cam Boozer does have just a little bit of athleticism to go with that on the floor skill set, I'm gonna tell you right now, not only is Cam gonna be in the league for a decade, he's going to be a problem in the league for a decade.
Yeah. That's the thing, man, I like about his game. His game is so skill based, and it's not just skill based. It got a little bit of force with it. It's a little bit forceful, and so those type of.
I agree. He's one of them guys that I think if he gets drafted by either Washington or Utah, he's going to be a mainstay. I don't see him going trading here. That I think he's going to be solidified. Whatever team picks him, they're going to put him because they know what they're going to get.
Yep, and I think that's just the question with Boozer. I think he has to go to the right situation. To me, I think that's the type of player he is. He go to that right situation, he's going to be able to flourish. I think with AJ's the type of guy you put him in Europe, he's going to average 40. You put him in the NBA, he's going to average 30. I don't care where you put that kid at. Let him get the basketball in his hand and let him be able to develop and adjust his game to the NBA level, and it's wrapped. It's over. He may be the next face of the NBA while we're talking about the faces. He may be that next guy that usher in this next generation.
He's my homeboy. He's right down the street. He's my homeboy.
He's got that good a game.
He got that good of a game, man. This is not like
that good of a game.
That guy, his game is serious. I watched him. I watched film on it. I'm like, yo, this kid is more impressive on film than he is when I watch him on TV. When you run it back, like, hold up, you did that? Oh, your feet was.
He can go left. He can go right. He can shoot the perimeter, 3 point. He go left, go right. Whack it on. I mean, he got all the tools.
What's that 2 point? However you want it.
However you want, however you need. Ain't that the truth, man? That's real right there. Man, we want to send a shout out to everyone. Thanks everyone for joining us again. We obviously did a little extended edition here because we are getting down to the finals. We got some comments here. Mr. J. Wow says Spurs to the finals. Knicks win though. Wemby gets a heartbreak, wins the next two. Okay, I respect that comment. I like that. I think Wemby is going to be a problem for a couple years, but I don't know about winning the next two. Like I said, that Thunder team is not going anywhere. They'll battle each other for some time to come. We want to thank all of our viewers out there. Make sure to tune in to us again next week. We're going to be right here breaking it down, as we will obviously have our finals matchup will be set. We'll be talking about that in detail. We'll be also going down memory lane of this season, talking about the things that we enjoyed. And as you know, we'll be getting closer to the draft, so we'll be doing more draft breakdown right here on Prime Time Hoops. Make sure you guys check us out. Our Marcus Mack, we got Kitty Casanova and Michael the Con Man, bringing it to you guys every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central Time, and 1 p.m. out there for our folks on the West Coast. Thank you guys once again for joining us here on Prime Time Hoops. This is the squad, baby. Let's go.